Let's begin by working with a bit of HTML. And what we want to do is strip out the URL or the href of an anchor tag. So let me add one right now. So I have a standard anchor tag, and what we need is to strip out that value because this is something that may come up from time to time. So first, we know that it's going to be preceded by href equals. The URL has to be preceded by that, so we can include that. So we'll say href equals, and why don't we use a period for the time being? Now, first we know that it's going to be wrapped within quotation marks, so I'm going to add both of those right now. And then I'm going to do a plus and look for one or more of those. So you might be thinking that looks good, but of course if we do something like title equals our site, you're going to see it continues to match because this is going to be greedy. So I'm going to make that non-greedy. So let's see what happens now if we want to wrap this within parentheses and then we want to put that out. And I'll say the match was 1. So what you can see is we are in fact matching it, like so. Now there's a couple of problems here is we are assuming that they are going to use double quotes. So why don't we switch this out now, and let's say some developers use single quotes, whether it's within a server-side language or they prefer that, and in that case it's not matching. So what we should also do is wrap this within a character class and say look for a double quote or a single quote, one or the other. Now we could do the exact same thing again to close it out, or we can use a back reference as we learned. So I can do \1 and then wrap that within parentheses. And if I switch that to 2, now you can see we're getting the same effect, but be careful with back references because I know that can be a little bit confusing. And in this case, I think it's overkill. There's no need. It's okay if we repeat it. It's just 2 characters, so I'm going to add that back on. So we are seemingly matching it, but here's a method is try not to use this universal period selector. Instead, when you are wrapping with end quotes, try to do it this way. We're going to look for anything that is not a closing single quote or double quote. And then we'll look for one or more of those. And then I'm going to wrap that within parentheses. And now we're getting the same match, but it's a little bit easier because I don't have to instruct it to be non-greedy because it can't be. I'm saying look for anything that's not a single quote or a double quote and just match as much as you possibly want. There's no way it could exceed beyond a single quote or a double quote. In the next lesson, we're going to take a look at how to match a US phone number.